Alright, welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's official prices. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so it's a little tough to keep track of, but we're kind of getting in the groove of things. So here we have most of the official prices for the stuff going live on the 23rd of December. And that is the pre-order period going live, but the actual release date does have that 3-week delay. So the release date is going to be on the 13th of January. And then hopefully after that, we'll go back to regular, just 2-week pre-order period and kind of get rid of all the confusion and all the changes. I'm assuming the 3-week pre-order period is just for the holidays, and the 2-week pre-order period is going to be standard from there on out. So for Kill Team Salvation, this is going to be the actual box set with the 2 kill teams, the Striking Scorpions and then the Scouts. It comes with our 5 little pieces of terrain, and then also has cards for the actual kill teams, data cards, and then some custom tokens. And then this is going to include the book right here. And then we'll assume that the book itself will have some details about the terrain setups and everything like that as well, because I don't think we've seen any kind of book or anything in the actual terrain set. That's going to be just the terrain itself. So in order to fully get your money or get the value out of this set, you're going to want to basically still pick up both. So the Kill Team Salvation box set itself is $130 USD, $130. And just for a sort of comparison, the most recent expansion sets for Kill Team, which was everything here plus the terrain, were $185. So that means we're paying $50 less, but we're not getting the terrain. And then they did add in like the token sheets and some different cards and stuff. So not quite a one-to-one comparison, but let's take a look at the actual terrain set now for the Killzone. All right, so here is the Killzone Bheta-Decima, and then this is going to include your fold-out board right here. And these are like the heavier cardstock boards, the thick cardboard. And then it's going to include all of the terrain pieces right here, most of which is brand new. We have seen previously the little small platforms and then also the medium platforms. It does look like all of this is going to have the sort of like Lego connectors and be completely compatible with all of the other Sector Mechanicus stuff, which is definitely cool. The legs here are all new, and I did notice that they fully block view, it looks like, as opposed to the previous legs that had like some gaps and stuff in them. And then also these are going to be the half height ones. So we can see just relative to the Ferrotonic Furnace, they're about half the level, as where the previous legs were all the full height. And then we also see the big round piece right here. I'm assuming that's going to be multiple pieces as we've seen in the past with the larger platforms. And then of course we have the little clip-on Kill Team style barricades, very cool there. And then finally, to round out this set, we have some cool objective markers. And actually I really like these because for 40k now, you can't actually stand on objectives. Previously, you would use like the marker, but you could interact with it fully. Like you could stand a model right on top of it. Now in the new rules for 10th edition, you can't stand on them. So it actually makes a lot more sense to have like a 3D token, just so you don't accidentally place your models on there, at least until you get used to it. So I do really like the addition of these as well. Looks like overall a pretty nice set right here. And like I said, everything is basically new but the Ferrotonic Furnace. And then we have previously seen like the small and medium platforms. They do appear to have a slightly different design on them, but overall serve the same purpose. And then of course the new long platforms are a new addition as well. Now I did notice though that they don't show off any of the actual clips. So even if this is completely compatible with the Sector Mechanicus stuff, it doesn't appear that they give you any of like the little clip pieces to attach everything together. And we don't see any of the stuff actually attached together here. So assuming it is the same, you're going to want to use some of your old clips from your previous sets. But anyway, enough about the details. So for the terrain set here, this is going to be $125 for the Killzone Bheta-Decima. It is a decent amount of terrain and it's pretty cool, but like I said, if we were to put that together with the previous Kill Team set, so you were basically going to purchase Salvation and then also the Bheta-Decima Killzone, that would be the equivalence of buying one of the previous expansions, and then you would have some additional like cards and tokens that didn't used to come with the set, but it would cost you a total of $185 to buy all this stuff. Now, the way they have broken it up into 2 separate boxes, it's actually $255. So it's basically like a $65 price increase. And what we get for that is just the cards for the actual new kill teams and then the token sheets as well. So this is definitely another one of those kind of like stealth price increases. Now, I do like it because it presents some more opportunity for people who don't want all the terrain, because that has definitely been a common theme for people, is that they just don't have the space or desire to have like tons and tons of terrain. I do really like it because this is pretty much all brand new terrain, But the fact of the matter is an extra $65 for basically the same thing is pretty pricey. And if they were going to sell those tokens and cards on their own, it would probably be something closer to like 30 bucks or something like that, not 65. So it is definitely a price increase. But the fact of the matter is, regardless, we know that last season for Warcry and Kill Team, it just didn't work. Trying to adopt like the video game model and turn everything into seasons completely backfired in two different ways. For Warcry, nobody was buying anything and it was just a complete flop. And then for Kill Team, all the 40k players were buying the Kill Team sets to get a hold of the new Kill Team like actual units. So the Kill Team players couldn't actually get a hold of anything. So the fact of the matter is there needed to be a change, and they basically backstepped to what they used to do, which was selling the main components in two separate parts. So there's definitely some pluses. There's definitely some minuses. I do like the optionality of it, and hopefully this will stop some of those like scarcity issues, because to tell you the truth, it's much more difficult for Games Workshop to make like a big box set than it is to just make like say 1,000 of these and then 5,000 of the Kill Team box sets for Salvation. Because the fact of the matter is we know the terrain is not going to sell nearly as good as the actual Kill Teams. And just bouncing back up here real quick, we know that essentially this is 2 new teams and 2 new units that people have been waiting on for years. So the only way to get the new scouts is going to be in this box set, and presumably it'll be a few months before they'll be available individually. They are really good in 40k right now, so we know people are going to be flocking to this set to get a hold of, in many cases, like 2 or 3 units of these scouts. And then same thing for the Striking Scorpions. I know I personally have been playing Eldari for like 30 years, and I'm not the only one who's been waiting on plastic Striking Scorpions. So I would imagine, even though they're not amazing in the current edition rules and everything, there's going to be a ton of players that just cannot wait to get a hold of some new plastic Aspect Warriors. So we'll have to see how it pans out, but the fact of the matter is I think Games Workshop will be able to produce way more of these sets right here and way less of the terrain sets, instead of kind of being pigeonholed into having to just kind of compromise and create one amount for all of it. So we'll see how it plays out, but I think this is going to be, in the end, better. And regardless of if it's better or worse, we know that the seasons thing just was not working. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Bloodbowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. Alright, so moving right along, for Warhammer Underworld's Death Gorge, we have Daggok's Stab-Ladz, and this is the new Underworld's Warband, and they're going to be priced right in line with what we would expect at $42. And this is going to include the 4 models, and then of course your cards for them as well. And then we also have the Malevolent Masks Rivals deck, and this is going to be $29 for the Rivals deck, and this is compatible with various warbands. All right, and then next we have the Von Ryan's Leapers. So we did see Games Workshop announce that some of the units from the Leviathan set are now going to be available individually. So first we have the Von Ryan's Leapers, and just like I suspected, I think people are going to be shocked by the prices of these. This is the exact same kit out of the Leviathan set, just some easy to build 3 Von Ryan Leapers, and they are $50 for the 3 of them. And just for kind of like perspective, the whole entire Leviathan box set was retail value $250. So this is basically 20% of the Leviathan set if you're going on dollars, which is crazy because there is a ton of stuff in that box set for $250. And then for whatever reason, it looks like there's maybe going to be some delays, or at least delays on the prices, because the Winged Tyranid Prime didn't show up on the price list this week. So I'm not really sure about him. I'm assuming he's going to be like $40, but we don't know officially. And again, same deal with the Psychophage, did not show up on the price list. I'm assuming this guy's going to be at least $50, probably closer to like 60. But again, we don't know for sure until Games Workshop actually releases that. All right, and the next are the Neurogaunts. So there's 11 of these guys in the box set, 10 regular ones, and then like the little Hive node main gaunt. And these are $40 right there. And if you haven't actually built any of these or like seen them in person, they are tiny, much smaller than like the other gaunts. So again, if you're looking at these guys as $40 and the Von Ryan Leapers as $50, that's $90. And we still see the Tyranid half of the Leviathan selling consistently for $100. So if you're after any of these guys, please don't buy them individually. Just pick up the Tyranid half of the Leviathan set and do yourself a favor. Get way more models for about the same price as just these 2 units, at least while they're still available. All right, and then last but not least of the Tyranids, again, the Horrors of the Hive. which is the Screamer Killer, and the Neurotyrant with his Neurolite tokens did not show up on the price list here, so we don't know what these are going to cost. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around like $90 to $115, but again, don't quote me on those because they weren't on the price list. All right, and then the last couple items that were on the price list, we have the Lion, Son of the Forest, and this is going to be the paperback version, and this is $17.99. And then finally, we have Pilgrims of Fire, and again, paperback for $17.99. So lots of changes based on like pre-order times, the breaking up of the big boxes, and sort of like the elimination of the failed seasons that we saw last year. Again, a bunch of items missing off the price list. But hopefully as we wrap up this year and roll into 2024, Games Workshop can kind of get a hold of some of these issues. I do like that they're adapting, they're trying new things, and when those things don't work out, they're making changes and trying something different, which doesn't always feel good and oftentimes results in us having to pay more money. But the fact of the matter is, at least they're recognizing fairly quickly that stuff's not working and they're making changes. So let me know what you think. I'm super excited for all the Kill Team stuff. Unfortunately, I am still going to be picking this up even with the stealth price increases. And I'm really after that Lion, Son of the Forest, as I missed out on the limited edition and then passed on the hardback. But I do really want to read that because I've always enjoyed like the lore of the Dark Angels and really looking forward to hearing the story of the Lion. So let me know what you're excited about, what you're going to be picking up. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And of course, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I can't wait to get my salvation on. And I'm out of here.